another episode of Cooking Corner with me, Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. Today for you, I am going to be making maple bacon Brussels sprouts. Now in terms of ingredients, you're going to need the following. You're going to need Brussels sprouts. You're also going to need apple juice. You're going to need bacon. You're also going to need cayenne pepper. And you're going to need dried cranberries. Oh, and one more thing. You're going to need some maple syrup. Now, in terms of hardware, you're going to need the following. You're going to need a cutting board. You're also going to need some tongs. You're going to need a sharp, serrated, preferably, knife. You're also going to need a measuring cup and a frying pan. Step number one, as always, is going to be wash your plans. That's right, what I have here is my 8-year plan for Cooking Corner. We're going to get it nice and soapy. Go ahead, turn the water on, stick your plans underneath. Get them nice and moist, get water in that envelope. Then, get some soap on top of that. You want to get it nice and soapy. Once your plans are nice and soapy, you can stick them back into the water. Wash them all around. Wring them out. Squeeze all the moisture out of your plans. And you can dry them off. And just like that, you're ready to cook. Moving on to step number 2. And step number 2 is going to be cut and cook your bacon. So, you're going to need to take 4 pieces of bacon and your knife and your cutting board, and you're going to cut your bacon into little half-inch pieces. Once your bacon is all cut up, you can just add it to your pan, turn it on, and cook it until it's nice and crispy. Once your bacon is done, you're not going to drain the grease away. You're going to use your tongs to pluck the bacon from the greasy pan and put them in a bowl. You want to save that grease for your Brussels sprouts. Moving on to step number 3. And step number 3 is going to be cut and cook your Brussels sprouts. Now, here's how you cut a Brussels sprout. Now, to cut your Brussels sprout, what you're going to do is grip it firmly. Then, cut the end off with your knife. Once you've removed the end, you can stand it up and cut down the middle vertically. You may notice some of the leaves have come off. You can save those because we'll throw those in the pan later too. Alright, so you're going to take your 1 pound of cut up Brussels sprouts, toss them into the pan with the bacon grease. Then use your tongs to toss them all around in that bacon grease. You want to coat the Brussels sprouts in the grease. Once your Brussels sprouts are nice and greasy, you can put them over medium heat and let them cook undisturbed for 10 minutes or until they start to caramelize. Caramelize? What is that, candy? Don't worry, I'm gonna explain it. Now to figure out how to explain caramelization. Now, to caramelize the Brussels sprout, you want to coat it in some kind of grease or oil. Once you've done that, you'll put it in a hot pan to cook until it starts to get very brown on one side. That is caramelization. That's what we're going for with the undisturbed Brussels sprouts. This here is a prime example of some good caramelization. Once your Brussels sprouts start to caramelize, you can just add a pinch of cayenne pepper to give them a little bit of a kick. And then continue to let them sit for another 5 to 6 minutes. Once your Brussels sprouts have had time to caramelize, you're going to add a 1/4 cup of dried cranberries, 1/8 of a cup of apple juice, and 1/8 of a cup of maple syrup. Then you can mix it all around in your pan. This is step number 4. Once your apple juice has all but evaporated, you're going to move on to step number 5. And step number 5 is going to be reintroduce your bacon. To reintroduce your bacon, just take your bacon and reintroduce it. Then mix it around. Once your bacon is reintroduced, you can turn it off and remove it from the heat. Once you remove your Brussels sprouts from the heat, it's time for the final step, which is going to be plating. So, all you need to do is take your Brussels sprouts and move them from your pan into a fancy bowl or serving dish. Once you've got your Brussels sprouts in your serving bowl, transfer them to a smaller serving bowl. Once you've got your Brussels sprouts in your serving dish, transfer them to a newer, smaller serving dish. Once you've got your Brussels sprouts in your serving bowl, transfer them to another, smaller serving bowl. Surely this is the smallest serving plate you've got. That's where you're wrong. Transfer your Brussels sprouts to an even smaller serving dish. Perfect. Surely now, this is the smallest presentation bowl we can muster. Wrong again. Move your Brussels sprouts from your small presentation bowl into the smallest presentation bowl you have. Perfect. Time to enjoy. That was delicious! That concludes this week's episode of Cooking Corner with me, Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. I hope you liked the recipe. I certainly know I did. If you liked this video, leave a like below. If there's something you want to see on the show, leave it in the comments and I'll try to make it for you. If you like videos like this, subscribe to my channel. I'm putting out new content all the time. Bye-bye now.